Are you looking for an audio solution for your Polaris RZR that's better than everyone else's? Well, stay tuned, because I've got what you're looking for. Hey everyone, and welcome back. Now in this video, we're going to take a look at our all-new Polaris RZR audio kits and components, and hopefully show you why this is the kit you'll want to have. Now we've designed these kits and components to be some of the easiest and fastest to install, saving you precious time and getting you out riding that much sooner. They're available in a variety of configurations, so let's dive in and see what they consist of. So first up, let's talk about the kits as a whole. Now, we are offering a total of 6 different kits that will fit RZR models from 2014 to current, including the Turbo S, and integrate into machines with and without the Ride Command system installed. Now, the different levels of kits between the two versions, Ride Command and NonRide Command, are mostly the same with the exception of the source unit. Now in the Ride Command kits, we supply a direct plug-and-play interface harness to allow you to use the source capability of the Ride Command system. Now this harness provides both the audio and turn-on signals for the amplifiers and eliminates the need for any additional adapters. The NonRide Command system features our AWMC3 media receiver and vehicle-specific dash kit as the source. Now, these also feature a complete plug-and-play design, making connection a breeze. Now, taking a closer look at the kit breakdowns, both versions, Ride Command and NonRide Command, feature a Thunder 2, Thunder 3, and Thunder 5 systems. Now, let's take a look at the Ride Command systems first. So starting with the Thunder 2 kit, you can see that we include the Ride Command adapter, a MUD 100.4 amplifier, a pair of our new RZR 14FS front speaker pods that feature integrated RGB lighting, our RGB lighting controller, as well as our vehicle-specific amplifier mounting kit and full plug-and-play harnesses. Now the amplifier mounts under the dash below the steering column, keeping it high enough to protect against most moisture penetration due to the elements in your typical riding conditions. The speaker pods mount in minutes in the footwell using factory hardware and our pod lock technology. And we'll go into more details on these a little bit later in the video. Now moving on to our RC Thunder 3 kit, we add to the mix our new RZR 14 SW loaded 10-inch subwoofer enclosure, our MUD 600-1 monoblock amplifier to power it, and our external bass control. Now the amplifier mounts under the steering column with the MUD 104 amplifier in a stacked design, and the sub enclosure mounts in place of the vehicle's glove compartment. Now as with the speaker pods, we'll go into more details on our new subwoofer enclosure shortly. Finally, the RC Thunder 5 kit incorporates our rear speaker option by adding our MUD 65 PL speaker pods with RGB lighting and plug-and-play extension harness. Now the rear pod and harness option can also be added to the RC Thunder 2 or 3 kits anytime after installation if you wish to expand your audio system in the future. Now moving on to the non-Ride Command systems, these again incorporate our AWMC3 media receiver and vehicle-specific dash kit as the source. Now this is designed to mount into your vehicle's lower dash pocket and features Bluetooth connectivity as well as SiriusXM satellite radio expandability. Now for XP vehicle models 2019 and newer, you will need to replace the lower pocket that came with your vehicle with the 2018 version to accommodate for proper mounting of the radio unit. Now these can be picked up at your local Polaris dealer or online relatively easily. Now the Thunder 2 kit features our plug-and-play harness assembly, a pair of our RZR 14FS speaker pods with integrated RGB lighting, and our RGB lighting controller. The pods are powered directly from the internal amplifier of the MC3 radio, so no outboard amplifier is included as part of this kit. Looking at the Thunder 3 kit, we now add our MUD 100.4 and 600-1 amplifiers, our RZR 14SW subwoofer enclosure, as well as the amplifier mounting plate, and full plug-and-play wiring harnesses. And lastly, the Thunder 5 kit, like the Ride Command version, adds the MUD 65PL rear speaker pods and extension harness. Also like the Ride Command versions of the kit, the rear speakers can be added to the Thunder 2 or 3 kits at any time after installation if you choose. Now with the basic overview of the kits complete, I want to take a closer look at both our new front speaker pods and subwoofer enclosure and really explain to you what's different about these compared to others that are on the market. First up is the RZR 14FS speaker pods. Now, when developing these, we, like any good manufacturer, looked at other brands on the market to see what challenges they presented installers and customers alike when putting them in the vehicle. Now, one thing we realized is that having to assemble the speakers and pods during installation not only increased the install time, but also the chance of damaging the speaker. Additionally, the way the pods mounted were often cumbersome or simply a pain in the butt to put in. Now, we wanted our pods to come to you fully assembled out of the box, without the need to install the speaker or uninstall the speaker just to mount the pod. Now, this maintains the integrity of the pod regarding moisture penetration and prevents misalignment or damage to the sealing gasket. Additionally, the wiring harness is sealed into the pod when built, further protecting the speaker from any outside damage due to moisture. Now, of course, having a fully sealed and assembled pod creates a challenge when it comes to mounting. This is where our quick install bracket with Podlock technology comes in. Now, the bracket uses existing factory hardware in the footwell of the vehicle for mounting, allowing you to install the bracket in mere minutes. Now, once the bracket's in place, the pod locks into the bracket using custom designed tab and slot configuration, which is our pod lock system. The tabs on the bracket engage into the slots molded into the bottom of the pod. Once it's snapped in place, the pod's then secured to the bracket with a single bolt. After that, you simply route the wire harness up into the dash for attachment to the rest of the system. The integrated harness itself features a watertight connector that connects both the audio signal as well as the RGB lighting built into the speaker. Now, in the event you're installing these into a system other than as part of one of our kits, the plugs can be removed and the speaker and lighting wire can be hardwired if needed. Now, moving on to the RZR 14SW subwoofer enclosure, you'll see that there are several changes that we've made when compared to our other RZR sub offering. Now, we know that bass in the RZR is challenging, and getting good deep bass is even harder, especially without building some type of custom enclosure that eats up a lot of space. Now, one thing we knew when designing this new enclosure is that to deliver better bass reproduction, we needed to increase the internal airspace to improve lower frequency capabilities. This increase in volume does have the unfortunate side effect of deleting the factory glove box, but we feel the gain in output and performance outweighs this minor loss. A couple of other major changes comes in the configuration of the enclosure and the subwoofer included with it. Now, regarding the configuration, simply adding more airspace wasn't enough to achieve the output gain that we wanted. We knew that most RZR enclosures on the market are sealed designs, which limits the lower bass range and levels that they can produce. This is why we added a port to our enclosure to ensure the deepest bass possible while delivering the highest levels of output. Now, of course, one challenge with putting a hole in your enclosure is that they may be exposed to the elements, or worse, deep water is possible. And water penetration in the motor structure of the speaker could cause damage. Now, to counteract this possibility, we've created the Quick Install Port Seal Cap, or QIPS cap. Now, this cap can be installed in seconds, totally sealing the enclosure, preventing any possible water intrusion. Once the situation is passed, simply remove the cap to return the bass to full output. Now, you can also install the cap if you prefer the sound profile of a sealed enclosure over that of a ported one. Now, of course, to complement the enclosure's new output capability, we also upgraded the woofer included in it. We're now using one of our high output 55 series 10-inch subwoofers in this package. Now, this 400 watt RMS capable subwoofer not only can produce the deep resonating bass that we want, but is also a perfect companion to the MUD 601 amplifier included in the kit. Now, everything is pre-wired and installed in the enclosure, so no additional assembly of the major parts is needed. In fact, even the quick connector on the enclosure harness is designed to plug directly into the output of our 601 amplifier, completely eliminating additional wiring connections. Another area of improvement we made is in the mounting process of the enclosure into the vehicle. Now, too often it can be a challenge to manhandle the enclosure into the dash area, hold it in place, and attempt to get mounting hardware started. We've simplified this process with our sliding install plate that goes on prior to installation and allows you to quickly affix the enclosure in place. Once slid into position, the enclosure self-hangs, leaving your hands free to get the rest of the hardware and tools that you need to finish securing it in place. Now, of course, higher output and deeper bass can also bring with it more body panel vibrations, which will obviously detract from the overall sound quality. To help fight this, we installed a thick neoprene rubber-based gasket at all contact points of the enclosure where it meets the body of the vehicle. This damps any transferred vibrations to the car, giving you clear, concise bass instead of rattles. And as we all know, RZRs rattle enough already as it is. Some additional things to talk about regarding our kits are that they are complete systems, meaning you get everything you need in one box to complete the install. Now, apart from the aforementioned Polaris Pocket needed for the 2019 plus models of RZR XP vehicles, no additional parts are required to be purchased. This also includes the amplifier mounting plates that will work with 2014 to 18 as well as 2019 plus models. Both plate systems are included and work with whichever vehicle that you have. Well, this pretty much wraps up our first look at the all-new RZR audio systems and components. For additional information, head on over to our website and check out all the details on these products and more. And of course, follow us on social media for important product updates and events throughout the year. Hopefully you've gotten some good information from this, and I'm glad you could stop by and check it out with me. With that said, we'll see you again in our next video.